We set off at the start of the Healthy Aging Challenge with the sort of grand challenge mission that Stian talked about. The theme of the conference today, Adding Life to Years, really draws on this. But it was a really broad agenda. And so we had really two big questions about why are we doing this? And given that it's such a broad agenda, what exactly should we be doing? And I think on the way, we've been lucky. On the why, completely separate, Andrew Scott and his colleagues have sort of started looking at the economic value of an extra year of healthy life. And Andrew's applied that work to the UK, and he says that in present value terms, they would estimate that it's worth of the order of £5 trillion to the UK economy. So that just reinforces that this isn't just a moral imperative, not something that we feel, but there is an economic value and an economic case to be made for that too. On the what exactly, actually, I'm delighted that we were helped on the way by the Centre for Aging Better, who sort of helped define the sort of areas where we could invest in research and innovation that would have the greatest difference in a relatively small sort of way. And what you'll find is that that work has morphed into the 4 themes that will run throughout the conference today. The first theme is about staying active. Here's a picture of someone old, but actually active is something that runs right through the life course. It's a fundamental of aging well. And there is so much more that our sort of leisure and fitness industry can do to help in the healthy aging agenda. And in that respect, I'm really delighted that later today we've got Mike Farah, who's the chair of UK Active, running one of the sessions around that. The second theme that we've got running through is work. And actually here it feels like we were ahead of our time, because now in the news is all the talk about the big retire. Where are all the older workers? What are they doing? Actually, I think when we set off, we were thinking, actually poverty in later life is a real issue. So some of our innovations are there. And I'm delighted that we've seen a range of innovations around work. And later again today, we've got Tina Woods, who's the Chief Executive of Business for Health, running another session around work. Thirdly, around housing, which came up on the thing earlier on, housing and communities. I was really surprised by this. I think when we set off, our hypothesis was that the built environment is expensive and takes a long time to do anything, so we're probably not going to see much more than the odd bit of research. I'm really delighted about the range of stuff we've seen, from design of age-friendly homes, through to a raft of innovations associated with improving existing housing stock to make it fit for purpose, right up to the implementation of whole new developments incorporating new designs of accessible housing and enabled by new technology that actually supports community building and making those really great places to live. So housing and communities have been a big part of that. And the final one is care, and in its broadest sense. And here we were not talking, exactly as Stian was saying, we were not talking about the healthcare system. We were thinking about sort of, I suppose you'd call it everyday care things, living well with cognitive impairment. How do we support people and their carers to do that? And some of the stuff that Patty was talking about. Where are the innovations that support people with visual impairment, hearing loss, with mobility needs and things like continent? And a lot of you have been doing that. So what have we been doing over the last 4+ years? Well, this slide gives you a sort of visual representation of the 240 odd investments, from the very big at the top and our trailblazers through to a raft of earlier stage stuff. And on the way, taking in some quite substantial design projects and research projects and supporting, as a novelty, certainly for Innovate UK, social ventures to scale up and make a real difference. So what have they been doing? A few of you in the audience will recognize this. This is a photograph of our part of our delegation to Aging Fit in France earlier this year. And I'm delighted that 3 of the people came away with the top 3 prizes for innovation, showing that actually it's not just about what's here, we were being recognized internationally. And I'm pleased that David Sinclair will be running a panel on international again later on today. But prizes are all right. Actually, money's even better. Sorry, I'll stay on that one for a bit. And really, again, pleasing to see people actually secure further investment to grow and go on. And really want to say thank you to our 7 investment partners, because they've been really crucial in trying to get that movement going over some really quite difficult times for investors, as you say. But the ultimate accolade is actually being in the market. And again, really pleasing to see how more and more of those innovations are out there actually impacting on people's daily lives. We know there's more to do, and in that respect, really delighted to see Chris Whitty's report on health in an aging society published on Friday. It is only words, it needs to turn into money and further action, but with you in the room and with the movement that we've got, there's a huge lot of hope for the future on that respect. And I just want to finish with a sort of word that sort of connects back to what Patty was saying, which is actually none of this would have been possible without the involvement of people with lived experience. And early on, we made a commitment within the challenge to do something differently. And that was to embed people with lived experience in the way that we make our decisions. And a few of you will have been through interview processes and know that actually we had people from various panels around the country, but in particular the voice panel up in run from Newcastle University, as voting members. And I think that genuinely changed the conversation of experts and the decisions we made. But it doesn't stop there. And that's the next connection back to design, because embedding lived experience in the whole development process has been really critical to what we're doing. So a big thanks to everyone with lived experience. I hope some of you caught the Vox Pops on your way in. It's really important to listen to those voices. So that's a little bit of the conference in the nutshell. We've now got a short, it's not really a break, it's time to move around to your next session. And as I reminded you, I think earlier, that on the back of your card you'll know what you signed up to. Complicated sort of diagram here, but essentially, if you're one of the large number of people who said that they're really interested in housing, please stay here, and delighted that Julian Meyer is going to be running her session on housing, scaling for aging. If you're interested in shaping the future of care, rebooting the health of the nation through the workplace, or the workshop on social connections and storytelling, you're going to make your way through the members' pavilion door there. And it gets slightly complicated because it's a different building with different floor numbers, and there's a team there that will direct you. If you're not booked into one of those and you want to go, there will be people, Sophie, at the door, able to tell you whether there are places, and we'll have a sort of communication with the room, so if people have drifted off into other places, we'll be able to fill you in. And then finally, the innovation pitches are starting in 10 minutes. They're upstairs in the Duchy Suite, straight up, so leave from the doors and you can take the stairs or the lift up to there. And for those of you online, you'll see you've also got an online-only option to join as an activity. So that's where we are, and the next sessions start in 10 minutes.